I'm Jennifer Rowden. I'm the project coordinator for the Lamprey River Watershed Association, and the project we conducted was the Streamwalk project, which basically tried to do an inventory of the entire river, which runs about 47 miles from the headwaters in Northwood at Meadow Lake down to the confluence at McClellan Dam in Newmarket. We had a total of around 40 volunteers that worked in teams of 2 to survey the river. Some of the things folks looked for were invasive species, stormwater outfalls, culverts, trees and trash that might be in the river, and whether or not the sides of the river were in good condition and whether or not there may be erosion present.
My name is Eric Figgenbaum, and this is my daughter.
I'm Katie Figgenbaum.
We live in Madbury, and I'm connected with a number of watershed groups up in Madbury. The Lamprey River group and some people I know from there were doing the stream assessment this summer, and they needed some volunteers, and we were happy to come down because it would be nice to duplicate the inventory they're taking here on the Bellamy and even on the Oyster too.
I'm a student at Oyster River High School, and I've been doing water monitoring with my dad when he goes out in the morning to do water quality, and he asked me to come along, and I think it's interesting to make sure that there's not a lot of pollution in the water and that there's enough habitat for animals to live.
All right, let's do this stretch of knotweed along here for invasives.
Can I measure that?
Yeah. I'll do that end and I'll walk it out.
Okay.
The reason the Watershed Association took on this project is because there had never been any sort of comprehensive inventory done of what the entire Lamprey River actually looked like and what aspects might be impacting the river on a watershed-wide basis. So the Watershed Association took on this project to both do that sort of baseline inventory and also to promote the river, to try and get community members that might not otherwise be necessarily interested in the watershed or concerned about it actually out on the water so that they could experience the beauty of this river by actually being out on it.
So I think we did 3 sections of the river.
Yep, 3.
And three segments. It took about a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours each segment.
Yep.
We found a lot of sewer outfalls that that run in stormwater outfalls that run into the river. There was that one section where there was a lot of forested area along the river, but up on the bluff was a subdivision, and so the drainage from the impervious areas of that subdivision were funneled into the intermittent natural streams that were there, but essentially also getting into the river. And I think the university and the town of Durham use water from the Lamprey for their drinking water supply, so they use Oyster and the Lamprey River, and it's kind of neat to come down here and see what kind of impacts there are along here that could affect the quality of the water that they take for drinking water.
Primarily what we found was very encouraging because a lot of the Lamprey seems to have really good buffers, which means that the land on either side of the river is covered by predominantly either vegetation or trees and forests, which help maintain the water quality. Some things we did find in the more urban areas were a lot of stormwater outfalls or culverts that are washing water from impervious surfaces such as roads and parking lots down directly into the river, meaning that they're not able to get filtered through some of the vegetation along the sides of the river, which can impact water quality. We also found a large number of invasive species, particularly Japanese knotweed and purple loosestrife, which are fairly common in this part of the country, but once they're established, they're often very difficult to eradicate and get rid of. They tend to displace native species that might occur along the river and don't provide good habitat.
So let's make some impacted buffer comment about the yard on the other side. There's a fair amount of grass that goes all the way down to the riverbank, and that doesn't help filter any runoff.
How long is that?
Say about 150 feet.
150 feet. Okay.
And then include a comment about this tree that's across this section.
Log across.
That it's blocking canoe access. But it gives some other structure for habitat. It's been helpful to come down here and help with the stream survey, because if you don't know what the issues are, it's hard to actually focus your resources to their best ability to make corrections that might be able to be made.
And I've also learned exactly what kind of things can affect a river, like stormwater outfalls,
Buffers, invasive
impacted
species.
buffers, invasive species, all of those.
Yeah.
I didn't know beforehand.
One of the most common things I heard from volunteers once they had been out on the river is just how much they enjoyed the experience of being able to walk up the river, even though they were looking for problems, but just what a special and beautiful river this is and what a place it has in the communities in this area.